hear us.
No,
So, what's going on, everybody? It's me, RDV, and just hanging out with Eric Breen today. Zach said he's gonna be a little late, so Eric said he wanted to join. He had fun last week, so he said he wanted to come back this week and just have more fun.
yep.
Listen, we're calling this channel "My Two Sons."
The pretty face is going to be late, so
Yeah. We're talking about the weather here, and like it's supposed to it's storming pretty good here. I got the weather alarm going off in the background, so you hear that the radio once in a while goes. Beep. We're in a tornado watch from now until 12 a.m. Shout out to the thunderstorms before mainly for midnight. Some of the storms could be severe, low around 56, breezy with a south wind 15, 20 miles per hour. It could gust as high as 35, which is not bad. You know, but yeah, right now that's according to NOAA. So that'll be fine.
well, if we're not, if you just get swept away, we'll try to soldier on.
You see the lights flick green and like, no.
You like that Dr. Pepper commercial? That's my Dr. Pepper hand. It's okay. I understand.
All right. So I take it you have some books tonight?
I scraped up 5. I needed a facsimile to get there, but
Yeah. Well, hey, getting that you're getting that Deadpool, aren't you?
no.
Yeah. All right. Let me share my screen here and we'll get this going. Oh, alrighty then. The good news is the tornado comes. I haven't eaten yet, so it means that everything will be closed. But it'll be fine. All right. Since you are joining us, I'll let you you go first, sir.
Well, number 5 is Military Comics, the facsimile. First appearance of the Blackhawks, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, well, let me turn on facsimiles because I actually have that turned off. My thing here. Actually, is that a variant or is that a? Actually, no. Will that show up in this normal?
Yeah, it did. You said to go
Yeah.
down pretty far.
Okay. Mine, whatever. I don't know what it is, but it's always set at default to show reprints and variants, and I don't give a shit for those because it's like some are like the same book that came out like 3 weeks ago, and it's on its 5th reprint. I don't care. I got the first one, but how far down is it?
It's pretty far down.
Well, it only helps. I only have a 4 on a cross going at a time, so it's gonna be further. But no, maybe I passed it up, or maybe it's I don't have facsimiles turned on. That's why. No, I'm not seeing it. Can't be that far down or that far up.
No, it.
I think I got to turn on the freaking facsimiles. That's why it's not showing it. Yeah, see that's why I was showing facsimiles because they have that stupid thing check mark. They should have its variants and facsimiles a separate check mark. So it's probably gonna be further down then.
There it is.
See, yeah. I hate that the way this site has been lately been changing their layouts. Normally, it would just facsimiles would just pop up, but now facsimiles are lumped in with reprints and variants, and it's just annoying. Because if I want to, I'm scrolling down for the extra 30 minutes just to try to find a book because there's like 30 variants.
Oh, first appearance of Miss America. And not to be confused with the one at Marvel, I guess. I guess he couldn't copyright the name.
Oh. Cool. Plus the Blue Tracer, Yankee Eagle, Death Patrol.
So I'm guessing that DC is publishing this because that's who they bought. Yes, who Quality sold to, but
Episode with the goat, Chris Jericho. Yeah.
Oh, Zach will be sorry he missed the last story.
I know. Sink the Kaiser Adolf. PS art book, Softy Blackhawk. 91. Nice. Secret Origins. 6. So that's cool. Now, if my store has it, that's one thing. This might just going to get the special order. All right. Cool. I thought you had most of these books anyway.
Yeah. Right.
Right? All right. And tonight's snack is brought to you by Pringles.
You better fuel up because we've got a live stream after this.
Do we?
Yeah.
Tuesday night. What else do I have?
He's unboxing more of that stuff.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, I told him. I said, "Yeah, you want to do 10?" I said, "We usually take about 90 minutes, so wait till 10:30."
Okay. All right. Well, number 5 for me is going to go down a little further. Is Cobra Commander final issue? I think unless there's 6, I don't think there's 6. No, it's the last issue of this miniseries finale. I've been having a lot of fun with this book. Never was really into GI Joe. The way they've been writing Cobra Commander here too. The guy is just hilarious. He doesn't take shit. It just makes him instead of being like an incompetent fool like they had him like I saw a couple in the cartoons and movies. He's actually a pretty formidable foe. And he just met Destro in the previous issue, so now he's going to be teaming up with Mars, the contract, now he's going to build Cobra. Joshua Williamson is actually other than Superman, this has been my favorite book he's been writing.
Oh, nice.
I'm not a fan of his Green Arrow. It just got to the point where it's like he went into the whole trope. Was like, well, basically, like, what do we do? Well, for Green Arrow, we will just bring in Amanda Waller. Now, I don't know if that was always the plan, or if that's because he was forced to do that. But bringing Amanda Waller into a book, it just kind of ruins it for me. Especially Green Arrow. I guess she's not new to a Green Arrow. I guess. My understanding is that Green Arrow and Waller have always kind of like interacted before.
Maybe they did. I never noticed, but I'm with you. I said I liked Green Arrow. I liked Batman and Robin, just not really enough to keep going.
Yeah. So I remember like in the Arrow TV series, they Waller was one of the people he met. Was a big character. So I don't know if that was during Andy. Did Andy Diggle do a Green Arrow book?
Maybe the New 52.
Maybe that's where they met past before. I'm not sure. I'm not a huge Green Arrow fan
because that Green Arrow was, I think, significantly younger.
Yeah.
Than where they left off with him.
Yeah.
So
it was also a skinny one, right? She was skinny.
I think maybe I didn't read it, so I don't know.
I remember people complaining, "Why is Amanda Waller not the Wall anymore? She's skinny."
Yeah.
So I remember that. But anyway, been having fun with this, and the fact this is all tied into with the whole Energon universe that Kirkman's been cooking up with Hasbro. I am just looking forward to seeing what else Cobra will be doing in the future. After the events, so they're gonna have, I guess Scarlet is the next book, and then there's another book that's coming out too. I forget what it's called. But I'm just looking to see what happens towards the end. Is we're gonna have GI Joe versus Cobra. We obviously have GI Joe going versus Transformers. But I mean, like, where's Cobra gonna fit into all that? So maybe they'll figure it out with Scarlet. I don't know. Hopefully that book will be good too. But yeah, this is my number 5. There were a lot of actually good books on my pull list this week. It was kind of hard to narrow them down. But yeah, go down to 5. Eesh. But Actually, you know what? Okay. What is your number 4, sir?
Elvira meets H.P. Lovecraft, number 4. Elvira and H.P., not Agent P, are looking for the Necronomicon. A nefarious band of no goodniks are also looking for the Necronomicon. Fourth walls will be broken.
And
Hijinks will ensue.
also, because this is being published under Dynamite, it'll be cool to see Ash show up. Not
You
the
don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, like I said, these are fun. You know, I don't know. I think maybe David Avalone has just done enough of these that I'd kind of like to get a different take on the next Elvira. I wouldn't. It wouldn't break my heart if it was somebody else writing it.
Are you getting the photo variant?
I am not. See, I don't mind. Comic book Elvira. Not a big fan of Cassandra Peterson in 2024.
Oh no, it's even Black Cat version. Any okay, I guess I was looking to see if Undead Quinn had number 5, but I mean I watched the movies with Elvira. I think I watched one of them where she moves into the neighborhood, and that was it. Was there another movie other than that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but all right. It's a lot of covers.
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Technically, it should just be 3 covers, 4 covers.
Personally, I think it should be 1, but
who does the main cover though? Is the main cover Cooler Ball, or is it?
I don't know.
Oh, it's David Costa. That's the other thing too. That's probably like we were talking about this the other day. If Cooler Ball is doing the interior art, he should be doing the also a cover.
Yeah, well, the interiors are.
And it shit. Here it is. Here's his cover. Why is this not cover A? Why is this cover B?
I don't know. But I said the interiors are fine. Yeah, it's.
Well, the way I look at it here is I want to see what the interior looks like before I even open up the cover. So your cover is like a preview to what you're getting in the book. So I don't know. It's just there's a lot of time I'm just trying to be clickbaited, you know.
Yeah, to be fair though, when I first started Marvel, it was like they were on February 1976 cover dates.
Yeah.
In those days, they basically Gil Kane did half the covers, Jack Kirby did the other. You knew that you weren't going to get those on the interior, but that's what.
But you know what the big difference was? You knew you were going to get art just as great.
That's true. For the most part,
you knew what you're getting. Like most of them kept the same style, like and so when you see like some of these other covers, they're like, oh, it's really great, and you look at the inside, it's like, why does it look like Justin Greenwood? if you promise to be Gil Kane, or Dan Mora, Dan Mora does, like I said, Dan Mora does a cover, then it's Ry Rossmo on the inside. Like, what the heck? At least the good thing about Transformers, what they've been doing is Transformers basically have Daniel Warren Johnson. He's doing the writing. He's still doing the covers, but Jorge Corona, he can actually match Daniel Warren Johnson's art style, at least his style. It's very similar, so I appreciate that. But all right, go to my number 4. Number 4 is coming from Ghost Machine. It is the second issue of one of their new books. It is Rook Exodus.
Whoopsies.
What happens?
We'll make that a special honorable mention since I didn't see it.
It's okay. One of the joys of having people on here other than just me, people get to see other people's choices. So if they choose a different book, like there's times
I would have if I'd seen that. Then
Yeah.
The facsimile would have been the honorable mention, and although Rook was my least favorite of the three, I do like it, and I want to support Ghost Machine for as long as I can.
Yeah. Do people know that we're live? There's only like 5 people in the chat. It's really weird. But so one of the things I'll let you guys, I like to do it here on the channel, and I'll let you guys know a little secret, is sometimes if Zach and I, it's no secret, we love the same books. So sometimes I'll try to put other books that I know will be on his top 5, so we don't have overlapping. So we actually you get more preview of other books coming out, So, but anyway, Jeff Johns, Jason Fabak. As much as I loved Gary Frank's art on Geiger, I like Fabak's art on this. Or Fabak, I don't know. You've heard it always.
Fabak, I think.
Fubak.
Neba.
Yeah, not like Neba.
Fabak.
Yeah. So basically, it says here, in the far future, the man only as Rook wants out. He reckons anywhere that is better than the Cumberland planet Exodus, where all the nature, especially is important. Animal population has grown out of control as the world's engine is utterly failed. Scavenging for an escape vessel, he's interrupted by the powerful, hungry bear master named is Ursa. Yes. All that's missing is lions and tigers, and they'll have a whole entire thing. I know, right? But we get a hint that the dire wolf is maybe an ex-lover of his, and like he wants really nothing to do with her, even though she might be able to help. Their shot getting off the planet. He has a buddy who basically has control of the warthogs, and they've all kind of like this world is going to shit. Everyone's left, and he's losing control of the crows, and you get to see kind of like he like a nod to his character, like the main character Rook. When he was younger, his dad had a farm. His dad would not, leave. Everybody else was leaving Earth, and his dad refused. Eventually, it's kind of like if you watched Interstellar, how everything there's tired dust bowls, and his, some say his dad killed himself in order for him to basically, set him free, so his son wouldn't be stuck to his dirt farm. So this guy is obviously motivated. He's already lost one home. He doesn't want to lose another home. But he's once again he's being forced to basically abandon everything he's known. And obviously other people who are all it's one for all. Or instead of being all for one. Everybody and anybody are now enemies. They basically they're all scavenging to he's been trying to build a ship. He's been going into the theater and watching movies and then eating popcorn, and he's been going each room, breaking open and basically scavenging. This is an abandoned city that he's been living in, and now he's being attacked by this guy who controls bears. And the thing about this is that everyone's losing control of the animals because the satellite and everything that connects everything to, the machines, are glitching hardcore now because they're falling apart. They're shutting down. So looks forward to see what happens, man. Man versus bear. Will he do the Bear Grylls way and take out the bear? But yeah, I don't know where as far as the whole Rook book, as far as where I like that so far on the scale, as far as whether I like it more than I like Geiger or I like it a little more than what was the other one we just read? Red Coat. I think Red Coat's probably my absolute favorite right now.
Same here. I know you like dystopia a little bit more than I do.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of I like Geiger and I like Rook. I really like Junkyard Joe, and I really like Redcoat, and I'm looking forward to some of the other ones that they're doing more than probably these. But
yeah,
the difference is there's so much talent on these books
that
it doesn't matter that I'll put it this way: if it's Kelly Thompson and pick an artist at Marvel, I'm not buying Rook from them.
Yeah.
But geez, is Jeff Johns writing this one too?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it was Jason Fab.
Yeah.
Faye Bach.
Yeah.
I'm in because I said, you remember what? Yeah,
I'm
that's the Three Jokers team.
Yeah,
I mean, that art was phenomenal.
and I'm getting John's writing in all these stories.
Yeah,
that's the thing that ties them all together. It's John's creating his own world. Eventually these will we get our own big game events. Like Mark Miller.
no, I guarantee you we do not.
And I mean, as far as an event later on in like the years down the road, do you think we'll get anything like that?
I'm not gonna lie. In a perfect world, Jeff Johns would be running DC and doing 3 of their top books, but he's not. And DC would. I said, DC would rather have Mark Waid and his politics, and the Tom brothers, and so I said that's why we have a Ghost Machine.
Yeah, like I said, I would love to see Ghost Machine continue to succeed, move upwards. But as I said, the biggest part for me for with Geiger was the fact that Geiger revealed who he was. They gave the backstory.
Yeah,
that kind of soured it for me. I was like, before he was kind of mysterious. I didn't know who he was, but now I know he's just like a guy who got cancer.
It's a kind of a
letdown.
The letdown when they finally did the Wolverine's origin, and I never read it. It was probably the biggest selling book of that year, whatever year it was. I didn't read it because I didn't want to know. Yeah. I didn't need to know. It's like things. I don't need to see the little red-haired girl on Peanuts. I just know Charlie Brown has a crush on her. Some things you don't need to know or see.
Like it's like Peanuts. They finally show the adults.
Yeah, but I was talking to Micah earlier tonight, and getting back to the Jeff Johnson, I said, of all the major superheroes, I'm reading Superman and Green Lantern. Donovan would be happy, but that's kind of sad that when I think of all the great heroes that Marvel has, and I'm not reading any of them, other than an ultimate version of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and I said, and same with Superman. I mean, I'm not reading any I'm getting a Batman book. We all are tomorrow, but it's not Batman.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not the book Batman. So it's kind of depressing in a way. And so that's what I said. I'd much rather see Jeff Johns writing. But then again, at this point, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's time to move on from them and read other things.
You know what I'd love to see him come in to be a guest writer? Brubaker, Ghost Machine. Just come in and write something, and then
Well, I imagine that Brubaker puts so much time and effort into everything he writes now, and I know he's working on. He's doing television stuff now, and I still haven't heard anything more about Criminal.
The reason I say Brubaker because right now Ghost Machine's got the good artists that could work with him. I mean, he can stick with his with Phillips, But I mean, you can't do wrong with any of these other artists. You got Faye Bach, you got Gary Frank, you got Ivan Reyes. Why not? And have Brubaker write a western.
That would be nice,
right? We still have I guess as far as with the unknown characters, there's the unknown world. There actually are still 2 more characters that haven't been introduced really. There's the Black Widow, and First Ghost, I think it is. I can't remember what it is, but anyway.
Well, the good news is we know that Saladin Ahmed isn't writing either one of them.
Right? It's Vita. She's now joined.
Well, don't laugh too hard because I'm sure there's people putting all kinds of pressure on Jeff Johns to
make it like Image,
hire some of these,
or Wildstorm,
the DEI crew.
Yeah. All right, sir. What is your number 3 this week? Frank. It's Frank.
James Punisher number 5. James Castle. James Castle.
Can I pass it up? No. There it is. Yeah, it's actually GoldenEye. They're in Russia. That's what it looks like. It's that's what it reminds you of. The game you're playing, you go to St. Petersburg, you get to fight, you get shot by the Russians. Yeah.
Yeah, I said I've thoroughly enjoyed this series. I don't know if there's 5 or 6 issues in it, but
I don't think I've read a bad Garth Ennis book, honestly.
there have
Um,
probably been a few that it probably felt repetitive. But yeah, well, you know what you're
I
getting.
well, I know people don't like the boys, but even then, I understood, like, it's a little bit too much for some people, but I understood what the whole plot was though. But this has been just been fun. This is a guy who understands James Bond, just like he understands Punisher, and he understands that what fans want. You know, this is written for to the people who actually, I'd say it's written for respect to those who actually are fans of the character, not those who say they are on Twitter.
This this book, just like Get Fury.
Yep.
this is a these are this is a comic for the fans that the comic book industry has tried to get rid of for the last 10 years.
Pretty much.
And I know this isn't selling because when you shrink everything down to infinitesimal proportions, a series from a company called Dynamite isn't going to light up the sales charts. But I said if there were more, if they hadn't done such a good job of getting rid of people like me,
Yeah.
this book would be doing a lot better. Get Fury would be doing a lot better, or maybe not, because there'd be a bunch of books just as good.
Right.
So that's my number 3.
Nice. You know what's funny? It's my number 3 as well.
007. Number
Yes.
5 is our number 3.
Yes. I know, right? Shouldn't it be number 7? Don't you? I don't know. Dude, like I said, I love getting Garth Ennis on anything really. Garth Ennis, even the main cover looks like, if you look at the real close on the main cover, that's Tom Cruise. That's Mission Impossible, bro. Sometimes I see it. It's supposed to be James Bond, but I see the Tom Cruise nose and the hairstyle. But man, I just been having fun with this. It's a blast too. I read the Philip Kennedy Johnson book before this. That was okay. But Garth Ennis, whenever he brings a book, he just brings like he brings I guess the action, the suspense, and the whole thriller. So up to about 13. It goes past 11 and goes to 13.
I'm sure Philip Kennedy Johnson's a fine writer, but Garth is,
He's not afraid to get his hands dirty.
right. There's something twisted enough in his soul that comes out in his writing that if you like it, I don't care if he's writing James Bond or Hitman or, like I said, Get Fury or The Boys or whatever it is he's writing, you're gonna like what you get. And Punisher, I mean, they're basically, his writing is like James Garner's acting. He's playing James Garner in everything he does.
Yeah,
but you like it, and that's
right.
I said, this this James Bond could just as easily be the Punisher, and that's okay.
What? There's no variants? What? Just one cover.
I'll believe that when I see it.
I know, right? I'm thinking, like, did it not load?
Or I'll believe that when I don't see it.
Yeah. I think Garth being Irish is probably drunk when he writes these things.
But Gora,
he's probably like just he looks as what was his teenage self when I read, pretty much.
were you watching I think it was a Richard video talking about the podcast that Mark Millar had with Garth Ennis?
No, I did not.
He goes, I couldn't watch it. It's too much accent.
Yeah. Between Mark and then Garth,
and Mark is very, very Scottish, so it's
yes. And then if those two start drinking, yeah,
it sounds like what was that movie that
it sounded like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Well, there was another one where I think you couldn't understand them.
What was that? Snatch?
Yeah.
Subtitles are our friends. Yeah. So like I said, those guys are fun. They both understand what their audience wants, and they deliver every single time because they know it will sell. They will not let an editorial say, like, well, I want to do this. And we're like, well, screw you, editorial. I'm doing this if you want me. Otherwise, I'll go write at my own book, you know? And I think both of them, especially, I know Mark has his own, he doesn't need anybody. He can do his own stuff. He has his own IPs. The dude's like what, millionaire or more?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
You think about, I mean, I'm sure he made 8 figures. Well, I know he made 8 figures when he sold it to Netflix.
Yeah, yeah. And you look at Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis has been just writing banger after banger. Everything he writes, when it comes to whether it's Barracuda going against Frank in the Punisher Max, or it basically it's Jennifer Blood, who was writing for Dynamite. Dear God, that was just like female. It was female Punisher, and if you're a fan of Punisher, you're gonna like this series. If you're not a Punisher fan, well, I feel bad for you. You should go read that 4-issue mini series. It's called Punisher, where it got canceled because it wasn't Punisher. It was made for Soy Boys.
If you don't read that, kids. Life's too short. But take 3 times as long and read Welcome Back, Frank.
Wow, Manucci. Every single character is not they're not their own characters. Detective Soap, his partner, the whole mafia family, and then you got the other guys he comes across too.
Specker Dave, the mousy neighbor. Yep. Yeah, that was great. That's and
it was written like a movie, or TV series.
All I know is it was. There wasn't any issue that didn't make me laugh out loud at least once.
Even those 3 guys, the priestess going around killing people. Then he had the 2 other guys helping him, and then Punisher just takes him out. Like I said, this is fun. If you like high octane action, this is where you want to go for James Bond, and who better than Garth Ennis? So, but people will say, "Well, I don't want to read Garth Ennis because he hates capes." Okay, what's this in the cape book? What does it do? It's clearly not The Boys. It's not. I understand people don't like The Boys because the vulgar and the gore and stuff.
I don't care if Garth Ennis is in. I don't care if it's in quotes. I don't care if you can show me an interview where he says he hates capes.
Yeah,
he doesn't hate capes. He just sees the absurdity in it and plays into it. The character, like when Superman would appear in Hitman or Green Lantern or Batman. He kind of took the piss out of him a little bit, but it's not like he didn't take a dump on him. I mean, it's just they just made him funny. I mean, that's I'm a big fan of his writing, so I'm looking forward to this.
Especially, my final thoughts on this book. I'll be disappointed if we don't get a big old Russian trying to kill him. That's what I want. I want a nod to his Welcome Back, Frank. I want the giant Russian trying to kill James Bond.
Well, you may get that. You never know.
We had Jaws in the James Bond franchise. Why not get another big old guy? Tries to beat him up. But all right. Let's go to your number. I guess your number 2, yeah.
Number 2, but certainly not a number 2. Superman 14. I'm, being old, jaded, with 50 years of reading under my ever-expanding belt. I am impressed with this story. It's been fun. It's been there. We'll see if it has consequences, but they've used a good chunk of the Superman family. They took the one nobody likes and sent him to Pluto or wherever.
Yeah,
which is good. And I said I just like what I've seen here. I said I'm predicting again that Lobo does not turn on him, even though I fully expect page 1 or 2 to be a punch into the middle of next week. But like I said, I think there's they they teased the Lex turn. That's not going to happen.
Yep.
Same with Lobo, and I kind of looking forward to see how this plays out.
Yeah. Lois Lane based off of the Brandon Routh movie.
Is that supposed to be that little stick figure that played her in the movie?
I guess.
I forgot her name.
I don't know.
Again, I said, I guess, but I don't get the need for all. I said, then again, I don't know. Like I said, I just I'm fine with it. The main cover. Really, I don't think this is cool, but just Lobo and Superman about to throw down.
Right.
That's a really good A cover.
And that's what I like about A covers. A covers are meant to be what you're going to see in the book.
Don't get me wrong; all four of these are beautiful.
Yeah,
I just don't know that they're necessary. I mean, I know why. I know what necessitates them. I should say I wish they weren't necessary.
You know what I'd say? If it was the main event, that'd be a little better than the main match. Because it looks like a boxing promo.
There's been enough talking. It's time for the main event.
Yeah, I miss Mark Henry. He needs to come back.
No, his contract's up. I doubt if you'll see him again.
Yeah, probably not. But yeah, this is the incentive cover, 1 in 25. Who the hell's getting this?
Yeah, that. Yeah, I said. Now, when I said they were all beautiful, that was not on screen.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like I said, the Brainiac one, that's been by Dave Johnson. That one's been overdone constantly. You know, if you want to get the Gary Frank one, from like 12 years ago. When was it? The Superman versus Brainiac storyline?
Oh, she's probably 15 years ago, but now.
And then there's one before that. Like this is like, man, are we in the 90s again? That's what it feels like. Superman versus Lobo. I feel like there's an actual story there that it's called Superman versus Lobo. But back in the day. But yeah, and ironically, this is also my number 2.
I suspect we're going to have the same number 1, too.
I think so, too. Where the heck is Zach? But before we get to those, it looks like there's only 3 books for Undead Quinn. And there's only 2 people in here besides me and Undead Quinn and Marania. Actually, we're the only people in the chat.
Wow.
I mean, what the heck happened to the chat?
These are cancellation numbers.
I know, right?
Next week, there'll be a rerun of The Big Bang Theory in this time slot.
Right. Next time, I'll just air a reading instead. Those seem to get numbers.
I know what. Hey, if we want to boost ratings this time slot, just re-air one of the non-martial arts reviews that you and Rob have done.
Right.
Because this is making those look pretty good. All those Johnny Handsomes and they're all going, how you like me now?
Right. So Undead Quinn saying Feral number 3 is his number 3 for this week.
Hey,
right,
new person.
Hey, what's up, Meat One number 1? Great to see you here, man. And I apologize for those who may be watching on StreamYard, or not watching on Twitch. I can't see your comments right now. Breen should be able to if they pop up. They'll be up purple. But,
well, then there haven't been any because
yeah, they're all YouTube. Yeah, holy crap! We bumped up to 6. People realize we're actually live.
Well, maybe they tuned in and said, God, we've waited 40 minutes. The pretty face has to be here by now.
Right. That's the thing. It's like, I noticed it too. Sometimes we don't get a lot of views if Zach's not here. I don't know what it is, but
suck it, losers.
Or
no
maybe,
Zach.
Or maybe we have a problem because of the storms in their area. I don't know. We're turning into like what was it, 2012? Remember that movie with all the natural disasters?
Yeah. Have you heard from him? Is he on his way or something?
He hasn't said anything to me. There's nothing from Zach on that. No, he had said he's gonna be a little late, but that's about it. He hasn't said anything since then. Gizzy's got a last minute appointment. That's great. What's up, Gizzy? Nick Quinn says number 2 was White Boat. Number 1, I've never even heard of that.
I haven't either.
Nick Quinn, you have to tell me what publisher that is from.
I don't remember seeing that when we were scrolling through all the.
Yeah, is it a manga?
I don't know.
I don't remember it either. What we got here? I Twitch sometimes. Okay, Geek Easy with the bad jokes. I understand Zach's not here. It doesn't need to fill in though. But anyway, maybe Zach is checking on Izzy. Well, no. Actually, Zach's reason he's late because he said he was working late. It's the old lady that wants to meet up with him, and do her, whatever he does. I think he does. Does he do taxes or what does he do? It's some kind of insurance. I thought he does.
I don't know.
I always joke with him. He's like, it sounds like he might as well just be doing elder law. Doing wills and stuff. But anyway, though, yeah, dude, Superman versus Lobo. I'm so glad that Lobo's back to being the main man, Lobo himself.
Actually, this is odd. I kind of like it. I like him for too many years, Lobo was just cartoonishly edgelordy for cartoonishly edgelordy's sake. This I kind of like this version better because it's. I don't want to say believable is not the right word. It's a little easier to take. He's not as one note as because that's when Giffen and DeMatteis got it, but that was before the '90s when Lobo became, their Wolverine for 3 or 4 years.
See,
comedically,
my perfect Lobo was the one from the '90s cartoon series. I like that.
Didn't know, but like all this endless miniseries in the regular series, they were fun for what they are. But this Lobo, I'm gonna borrow one of Aaron's quotes. The old Lobo was deep as a Dixie cup. This one might actually be like a 16-ounce glass of death. So.
Of liquid death.
Jay, I was not reading at the time, so I'll have to defer to you on that.
Yeah, the DC animated universe Lobo was actually probably the best Lobo. I did like him when he was in the Superman stories back in when he was by Jerry Ordway, back in his adventures and during the Exiles basically area of Superman. Where he meets Bibble and Bibble and him just drink at the bar. I thought that was hilarious. I did not read any of the Lobo books though, because I don't like seeing Lobo without Superman. Like he was always an antagonist for Superman. Having Lobo be a character that's not with Superman just felt kind of weird. It's like reading the story about the Guardians and nothing about the Green Lantern Corps. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, or reading this book's all about Jameson. There's no mention of Spider-Man.
But you remember he started as a character in Omega Man.
Yeah.
Then he popped up in the Bwahaha Justice League.
Yep.
And then he had all this miniseries that Superman wasn't a part of. So that was well into the character's run when he became like a.
I'm just saying my first interaction was the animated series though. Yeah. That's my version of Lobo. So, whatever he was in the comic book series, I don't know how close it matched the animated series, but I know he was beloved. He was like hotter than anything else, back in the day when he had his moment, and then he just kind of like faded away into oblivion.
Fade to Bolivia.
Yeah. All right, we've been dragging this little rodeo too long. All right. Give us a countdown, recap of your books, then we'll go to your number 1.
Number 5, Military Comics. Number 4, Elvira meets H.P. Lovecraft. Number 4. Number 3, James Bond. Number 5. Number 2, Superman 14.
I believe I know what your number 1 is. Is your number 1 Is it a first book that ends with a night?
Why, yes. Yes, it
No,
is.
it is a book. And I'll quickly give a little recap of my books because this is also my number one as well. But number five was Cobra Commander number five. See, out of five. Rook was my number four. Rook Exodus. Number three was James Bond. Number five, Superman. That you saw was my number two. And yeah, this is both our number one for a reason. That reason being, Mike Perkins not only does the interior art, but also does the cover art too. And we're getting Marie Javins as the editor in chief. He's always attached to good stuff. And Dan Jurgens is doing the writing. I mean, this has just been fantastic. Back to the 1930s or early 40s. Man, art, story, decently priced. Although I'd rather pay $5 than pay $7 in a day. But I think it's pretty good for a magazine. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, $7 for this in 2024 is a bargain in this silly industry.
The best you've ever had.
I don't know about that, but they said it's. I mean, when you think about it, how many DC books that were 40 pages with a cardstock cover were getting $6 and $7. This is as close to getting your money's worth. And I'm not talking about stories. It's just like the size of the book, the amount of the pages. This is as close as you get to getting your money's worth.
Yeah, and I love the whole style. It's early Batman. It's Batman he's doesn't have those. There's no Robin. He has pretty much no Alfred. He's got Julia Madison, who basically has taken interest in him. He has a relationship with James Gordon, and I say relationship, I mean like friendship.
Yeah,
weirdos. And then they got this guy we don't know who it is, but somebody's been killing up criminals, sending them to Arkham Sound, and they get the electric chair, and then somehow reviving them. And then they're using his goons to take over the city, and just everything. Batman's only got a car. It's that an old red, I guess you call it Packard. Maybe I'm not sure if it's a Chevy or what it is. It's either a Ford or it's a Packard. But point from that, aside from all that, it's just been fun. The gadgets he has really aren't any.
The most impressive part about this book, in my opinion, I think, is the art, the amount of detail that Mike Perkins puts into it.
Yeah,
is again, like I said, you see more than I do. How many comics with just poor art? And since there are no, when you're talking paying $4, $5, $6 for Tumblr art, and then you get this. I said it's good to know. That's the cover I'm getting.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But
yep.
These are the kind of books that give you hope that the hobby isn't dead yet.
And it's being written by a guy who loved the hobby. He's been around forever. He's not a new person just trying to make his mark and in virtue signaling. This is a guy who actually knows what he's doing.
Well, you're not going to get virtue signaling out of him.
No,
which is nice because I said he's one of the few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's a conservative that's allowed to work at DC, which means he's probably not an asshole like some.
But Dan Jurgens, speaking of Dan Jurgens, like this is no shock to me that he's doing a book that's set in the 30s. We just saw him work on Tarzan, Road to the Jungle, over at Dynamite last year. So this guy seems to be like we got a theme going here. What's next? Well, are we? Can you imagine him? Now he's done the Batman in First Night. What if he does the Superman? Action Comics,
I'm. That sounds like a neat idea. I don't know if I'd want to see that or like not a sequel, but the next chapter of this version of Batman.
definitely. Yeah, I would love to see it more.
But I need Mike Perkins to be the artist.
Yes.
But I'm thinking. I said two of the best things I've read in the last 2 years are this and the Tarzan series.
Yep.
So if we can't get Dan Jurgens on a regular title,
I want the
I
Jurgens
will.
verse.
I will take it. Well, I will take this because I said that's I don't know if there's anything in between, but these last two things have been excellent.
Yeah. And it's just a weird time for DC because, like, remember we just had the Murphyverse, and like, now it's just that's kind of been like a distant memory now.
Yeah, what a disappointment he turned out to be.
Yeah, he was teasing about doing a Superman book. So I don't think he's even doing anything, as far as DC.
Well, he was teasing us into thinking that he wasn't like the rest of them.
Yeah,
and he's just like the rest of them.
yeah. But like I said, his story, at least it wasn't affecting his main stories for DC. But yeah, the Zorro book was crap. But I don't but the difference between him and, like I said, like I was a big Murphy, Sean Gordon Murphy fan. I like his Murphy versus Batman, the Batman stuff. I liked what he was doing. I liked he was working at City of Constantine. The big difference between him and Jeremy Adams has respect for characters, and that's clearly evident in the Zorro book. It's Zorro only in Zorro name. But
yeah, I mean, I read the first two, whatever the Batman things that he did, and I liked them, a lot. I was kind of out of new comics after that, and didn't really see any reason to go back and get them. But I said that, I know you guys finished Plot Holes, and I can't remember what it was now, and it was not the gay characters. It was something.
It was Plot Holes. What it was is a character where the woman mentioned something about George Washington.
Right. Yeah.
Because
God, what was it? Bill Maher had a term for it. Presentism. It's where you think that people should have had your worldviews of 2024 300 years ago.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, we're going to tear down your statue.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that. And I said, at this point, I used to let that stuff just roll off my back and just keep reading. I'm not going to do that anymore.
And you shouldn't have to.
No, I said whether it's that
it shouldn't be mentioned in the book.
Well, right, but I mean, I said I'm sure there were some people that were fine with it, and that's fine. That book was for you; it wasn't for me.
Well, I mean, overall, the story towards the end sucked anyway.
Well, I wouldn't know. I didn't stick.
No,
but it's like and the Mark Waid thing. I said, you stuck with him. I elected not to.
Yeah.
So I said I'm not saying that I'm right, you're wrong.
I'm just waiting to see how long before the shoe drops.
I don't think it's going to.
Because I'm shocked.
I really don't.
Because the way DC is, I can't believe that's like one of their books that's out there. It's one of their best books by Mark Waid. One of the most biggest piece of shits.
Well, yeah. I mean, I said, now, is it possible? Yes, because I think I can't prove it. I'll never be able to prove it, but I think that.
Like he's even told to basically like don't put his politics into the book because they need money.
Oh well, there's that, but I'm saying like I said, I think Jeremy Adams was like guided towards giving JoJo Mullins a spotlight.
Yeah,
and like I said, she's a kid compared to a lot of the Lanterns in that.
Her spot should be Jon Stewart,
right?
But Jon Stewart is somewhere off world, not in the story whatsoever.
Look, I actually like the way Jeremy Adams writes JoJo Mullins. Wrote her in issue 10, issue 11. She kind of becomes a girl boss, and I don't think that fit the story because, like I said, there's an order to the Green Lantern universe, and that said, there's no way on God's green earth that Teen Lantern would ever exist.
Yeah,
but that's neither here nor there. But
you know what's missing from that whole series is Jessica Cruz.
Oh, that reminds me. So how did World's Finest not make your top 5?
World's Finest because there's so many other books coming out that I really wanted to watch. or read,
Okay.
not watch but read. World's Finest right now. The problem with World's Finest issue right now is now they have the mites.
Hmm.
Batmite, Mitsaplexic, and just some evil monster. Yeah, there's a Joker mite. There's these other abracadabra mites, parasite mite.
You know
Um,
what though? I
it,
honestly,
it just feels like you're trying to sell little stuffed dolls.
okay, well maybe, but at least he is going for a Silver Age feel, and that's very Silver Agey.
It is.
I wish he wasn't such a prick
Yes,
because I'm sure I would enjoy World's Finest, but you've done something.
but
If somebody that has a comic book channel will not read your stuff.
and the partial problem, the fault goes into DC. DC and Marvel need to say, if you want to work for us, you can't have social media profile, because the problem with that is that these people are basically are just going around and causing a bad look. Because now somebody who was going to buy World's Finest, will not buy because he called you a Nazi.
Well, you saw where Gail Simone attacked Republicans over a North Carolina mask bill.
Yeah,
And on the one hand,
yeah,
I go, okay, I, I don't, I'm probably with her on about 85% of the Republican Party because that's about the percentage of them
can
that
you
stuck. But
in any other profession, any company you work for, you start making stuff like this, you will be let go.
do you know what that tweet should have said? Hey, kids, 3 more weeks till my X-Men comes out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I applaud those who actually do not get political on their, they don't do any of that stuff on their actual stuff. Jeremy Adams being one of them. I really applaud him for that. It's
Yeah.
it's great to see somebody who doesn't talk about politics or any world stuff. Do you know what Jeremy talks about? Stuff that he's a fanboy of.
Yeah.
He likes Star Wars. He likes seeing the old cool movies where they have the people in giant robot suits. He loves that. He loves mech stuff. He's just a fan, and he's a big kid at heart. And every time he does a video where he does an unboxing with his children, and the last one he had where under unboxing Green Lantern, his daughter was having sleepover, and they're in the other room. They start talking. He's like, no, you can't go over here. I don't know if your parents give you permission to be on camera. So he's like trying to tell him, you can't come on camera here. We're trying to do this. And I gotta say, his daughters are getting better at holding the camera, because usually they like to kind of turn this, and they put their thumb in front of the fingers of the camera. So I just love it. And where other ones I've seen the people who are the artists, all they do is talk about art. They don't retweet other stuff. They just post their art. And that's honestly, if you're trying to get you should always be showing off what you're working on. If you can't what you're working on, maybe talk about something that you like. A movie that you like. Oh, I just saw this movie. It's really cool. It shouldn't be where I hate Trump, or I hate Obama, I love Biden, or I hate Biden. I don't want any of that stuff. I mean, especially especially if you're a corporation, if you're working for a corporation, we're gonna my business can suffer because you said something, and now someone doesn't want to buy my product because of you. I don't understand this whole mindset where I can say what I want. That's divaism.
You know what I just realized? I forgot to vote today.
Oh,
I was talking to my brother, and the polling place was like a block away, and I go, I'll do that as soon as I leave here. And I didn't. Yeah, I don't think Thomas Massey was in any danger, but God damn it, how bad is my memory? God, Jesus Christ, my head must really have been up my ass.
all I know is I got to vote in November.
Oh yeah, like I said,
I've already missed.
One of our congressmen is one of the non-swamp creatures.
Yeah,
and in fact, he in the last primary, he boat raced a childhood friend of mine.
Nice.
But
I've never seen two candidates in a boat racing.
Yeah, that's a term for. It's. I'll put another. The one time I voted for a Democrat in my life, he got whatever comes after getting boat raced
Yeah.
by a guy that went to my church, where I played youth basketball with the guy that Thomas Massey boat raced. See how it all ties together?
Yeah, yeah. All right. So we're gonna quickly look at other books coming out since I thought Zach would be here. No message from him whatsoever.
I just, yeah,
I can't.
I DM'd him and no response. So it's,
Yeah.
hope he's all right.
So World Friends is coming out. Nightwing. Is this the final issues of Tom Taylor? It's night.
Who cares?
It's a Nightwing who can't Nightwing. He's lost his ability to leap.
Well, sorry, but yeah, whoever takes over will have to write it in his image, and that's passed. Nightwing is done.
Ultimate Black Panther North Forest coming out this week. That is also my pull list. Looking forward to that. More Storm content. Void Rivals is also coming out this week. I believe I saw that on
On Quinn's number one.
Is number one, yes. And I apologize. I didn't know if it's actually we did read number two. Was that white boat? Okay, yeah. So I'm all caught up on for his Quinn's stuff. Dude, I just been loving Void Rivals. That's been another. If you love space adventure stuff, if you like Firefly, or just anything where two people are basically forced to work together and find out they actually are more in common than they thought. It's really fun. And then you got Transformers, and they're in space. You know,
we're gonna be here for a while Thursday. It looks
that way. Yeah, yeah, it's quite a few stuff. Blood Hunt number 2. I am getting the red band edition again, another polybag. So looking forward to that. I don't know why they have the Avengers on there because the Avengers were just kind of taken over in the first issue. We had a back Avengers. Maybe they're mind controlled. Maybe they're all vampires now. Who knows? But looking forward to it.
We could only hope, Maranya.
The next writer on Nightwing should be Bobby Ewing in the show.
The problem is the next Nightwing writer would be next Nightwing writer would be more apt to put Bobby Ewing in the shower with Nightwing. So
what else we got here? Well, Green Lantern's finally ending with Tim Sheridan. Other books that I am picking up this week, if it loads, is X-Men 97 with Steve Fox, which has been actually really good for this. They're focusing actually on the cartoon. He's not in his politics or his weird views into it. There's no self-inserts. It's just been fun.
Is it possible that there's something about this property right now that is bringing out the best? Like I said, the showrunner, that everybody assumed it would that this would suck, and everybody loves it.
Yeah,
Steve Fox. Well, he does suck, but everybody seems to like this book.
And the good Rosenberg's working on it too. Yeah, Todd Knock doing the cover art. It's just been fun, man. Living in nostalgia. We got here Justice League versus Godzilla.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that would have definitely been in my top 5. I knew. Son of a buck! I better write this down so I don't forget to get that tomorrow.
Yep.
Shit, I'm gonna need a job to pay for these now.
See if they'll let you trade a comic book for a comic book.
No, what I am doing though is I'm paring down my DVD library from like 3,000 to 2,700 or so.
Yeah.
First cut, and some of them I'm not even going to bother to put into the store. I'm just going to take out the half price books and where they buy by the pound, and hopefully I'll get enough to buy this week's books.
Look at this! It's a Jim Lee cover. Jim Lee's alive.
God, how did I miss 2 of the books that I'm getting?
I don't know, man.
Googly Mooglies.
Dan Mora cover. And then, of course, we have the Christian Deuce, or Dutch, or Duke. He's got a Green Lantern. King Kong is a Green Lantern. Where do you find a ring that big enough to fit Kong?
I don't know.
No. But anyway, that's coming out this week too. Peter David, Super Spider-Man.
Wow, what was I smoking?
Yep.
Forgot what day this is. They'll be scrolling across the bottom of the TV.
Yep. Super Spider-Man 2099 by Peter David. Continuing this.
Massey got 76% of the vote, so I guess he didn't need mine. So I feel a little better about. Whoopsies.
This just in. We found a duffel bag.
Well, the guy that nobody likes, the one guy. How do you even get in? I thought he was losing primaries in Ohio, but
No.
the guy, one of the Dieter's family, that name means nothing to you, but
so it looks like we're gonna have Loki guest appear in 2099. Okay, but it's Peter David. If you're looking for a Peter David outlet, this is where you're gonna go for Peter David right now. Peter David is doing a throwback series. He's actually continuing where it left off. I don't know how many episodes or issues he's gonna do. I might feel he's probably be like 5 issues though, 5 or 6. It does not say, it's a limited series though. So who knows? But alrighty. Stephanie Phillips is now doing Ghost Spider, a book I would get if it was Christos Gage. I can't even get. See, I know people don't like this character, but I mean, my thoughts is that you actually get a good writer on there. I'll read it. You put the worst writer on there. That's just telling me that I should even read this character.
Which character is this now?
Spider-Gwen.
Oh,
and Stephanie Phillips on there. Why don't we have Christos Gage on there? Why don't we put someone who actually knows how to write on there?
Because the comic book industry is pandering to people that don't buy comics.
So now I read the synopsis for the story. Now apparently Gwen Stacy from 6 whatever the other versions, she's now Earth 65. She's now permanently stuck on Earth 616 now. That's what this whole story is going to be about. Her being trapped now on this Earth. Will it be temporary or be permanent? Who knows? Who cares?
Exactly.
Ghost Rider Final Vengeance. No one cares. Conan the Barbarian number 11 should be on your list. If you're not getting this book this week, you are doing yourself a disservice. Jim Zub on Conan. It's been awesome. This is Roberto Della Torre, who I don't think he's the guy that was working on Lord of the Jungle. I want to say I think he might have did a cover for it, but it's been fun. I'm not the biggest Conan fan, but when it comes to actual Titan comic books and Conan now being on this, right? Jim Zub, holy crap, is this better? And I know some people like the Savage over Conan that was on, or Savage Avengers, whatever. When Jim Zub was over there, that's like watered down horse shit. This is like getting a 4-course steak meal. Getting that nice 20-ounce prime rib. All the extra fat on there and everything. It's just great.
Yeah. I will say about Conan the same that I say about the Energon universe. Not for me, but I want it to sell through the roof.
And it
I said I really root for things not from the big two to sell. Big 2 numbers, and hopefully at some point some of them exceed them. Because not that I think it's going to change any business practices from the big 2. They're too dug in at this point. But I do like to see that because I said that anything that helps bring people in the doors on Wednesdays is a good thing, and there's just unfortunately not enough of them.
Yeah. But I say, this is bringing. I mean, if I've never was a big Marvel Conan person, I never was really into it. But like I said, this has actually been great. I equate this as being just as awesome as watching Conan the Barbarian, the movie. The whole ongoing story has just been fun. Conan being a thief, and also and just just basically being the only survivor of everything that happens, and he's just like, by Crom's will, I'll just gut you. It's like,
Look, I know I'm in the minority of people. I mean, I like the Roy Thomas Conan from the mid
yeah,
'70s.
yeah,
Didn't read the Savage Sword back then. I was when I first started collecting, I didn't really know what I was going to stick with, and I started
yep.
buying Conan, stuck with it for about a year and a half. And when I find those issues, I like to reread those. But again, like I said, but my fellow fossils that love the limited amount of Conans they all love this stuff. So I mean, it's just me that's. I mean, I'm the
Are are
outlier.
are any of them collecting the new Conan?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Jambo does. Um, I'm guessing maybe Rod and Shannon possibly. And a couple people I probably can't think of off the top of my head. I
Yeah,
mean, none of them buy new books
no,
with any like even. I probably buy the most of the fossils, but I know that there's definitely some Conan fans
right,
among
right.
us.
Yes, I'm trying to call my list, not add. They are doing the Black Stone arc. Yeah, yeah, that's basically yeah. The last Alan Scott book is out, a 2 month delay. The Alan Scott, that is the final issue. Yeah, he's already working on Governors of the Universe, for Dark Horse, Master of the Universe. He's been working on that. That's where Tim Sheridan's been. So anyway, Thundercats coming out this week too as well. Number 4. It's been a fun series. Pharaoh has been fun. Makes me want to go back and I've never read Stray Dogs, but now I want to read. After I'm done with this, I'm gonna go back and read Stray Dogs. Union Jack.
Who's writing that?
I,
I don't know.
I'm gonna say it's Slot.
Oh, really? Dan Slott?
Kevin Scott. I don't know who this is.
I'm just gonna assume he's not good, but I it's like certain titles catch your eye because one of the
Yeah.
I've only backed like 3 or 4 books in all this crowdfunding era.
Yep.
One of them was Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter, and it was the name that got me. Union Jack the Ripper is catchy. If I knew the writer, I might actually break down and get that. But yeah, I don't trust it to not be bad. So
I hear you.
by the way, so we're gonna do any of the
Yeah, trades up.
trades
Yeah,
before we
yeah. I was just going through here. A Local Man's coming out. Very fun book. You should be checking that out. Turtles has been fun. Sandwich Witch, I haven't been reading this, but I've been some people in the chat I know have been reading this and enjoying it. There's James Bond, Nottingham, number 12 is out. You can pick up your facsimiles of Knights of Infinite Earths or First Deadpool. Rebel Moon's out, yay! Pooh versus Bambi. This sounds retarded, but also looks great too. Well, Winnie the Pooh, going against Bambi and everybody else, and he's a secret agent, and then they throw in some hot babes, and then Tigger's supposed to be joining in the second issue. So of course, there's X-Men 97, second printing for number 2. Yeah, back issues coming out this week. Yeah.
I told Dalton about that. I don't know if you were there yet. When it's Sandman centric.
Which one is that?
The back issue.
Oh, yeah.
I will not be partaking.
No. I got scared when I saw it, but yeah. All right, going in the trades.
Have you read 150, by the way?
I don't
the
know
back issue, the Bronze Age Batman artist.
I have not been collecting any of the back issues in a long time.
Oh, because Jerry has a nice Walter Simonson art.
I went to go look for one of those, and I haven't. I never. they never came. They should never came in. Or at least every day it was sold out. So I was looking for one of them, a while back, and I just never found it. All right, Batman the Black Mirror Deluxe Edition comes out this week. Teen Titans by Mark Waid and Dan Mora. Batman the Black Mirror. There's the other one. Jacques. Scott Snyder and Jacques. Superman Son of Kal-El, which no one cares about. There's Avengers. We talked about this on all back. Avengers Epic Collection. Evil Born. Do recommend you guys pick this up. $50. Great stories. Then all right. Then there's the Nick Spencer omnibus, Captain America. There you go. DC Pride, no one cares about that. Bark of Sound, no one cares about that. Eden was an interesting character. This is Tony S. Daniels' first book writing. Blood Commandment, you should be getting. I guess Spawn Origins. Okay. We got Blood Strike by Rob Liefeld. Is that an older 90s book?
It was a 90s title, yes.
Okay. Artist collection of Richard Corbin.
Well, I can't imagine. I do not like. With respect to the departed Richard Corbin, I never liked his art.
Yeah. $50. Vampire Gorilla versus Red Sonja. We collect finally. Took him forever. Then DJ Thoris, Crimson Genesis, Guardians of the Galaxy, Art of the Movie, the Slipcase, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wow, that's a light week on the old trades.
Right? Here you go, though. Disney covers, Disney Masters.
I would recommend the Avengers, but that is my favorite Marvel title from
Fantagraphic.
My Ute.
Yeah, and I'd say Fantagraphic Disney. Anything that's done by Fantagraphic, that's Disney. Pick it up.
Pretty much anything done by Fantagraphic these days, because they're doing the Atlas books for Marvel.
Yep.
And I've bought all three of them, and they are fantastic.
Yes, the Venus book, I think, was one of them.
Yes.
Yes. Alrighty then. Thank you all for showing up. Great to see you guys here. Undead Quinn, who has a sea of Undead Quins here in these chats. Geeky, CJ, Marania, Neatwad. Great seeing you here, man. And I think that's it, man. And the Quinn's even saying that Pooh versus Bambi looks pretty fun.
Well, it's got a lot to live up to, because Bambi versus Godzilla. Yeah.
That's not a real thing.
Oh, it absolutely is. You've never seen that?
I've never seen that.
Oh my gosh, it's a little cartoon. Bambi's like frolicking in a field, and then you see this giant leg. That's it.
You know what it is? It's Optimus Prime. He literally does. So that's what that was. The whole.
This predates the Transformers.
I know, so maybe that was a nod. And Dwayne Johnson was a nod to that.
It might be, yeah. Oh yeah, okay. Now I get what you're saying.
Because he walks, everything's so great, beautiful, and then he splat.
Yes, that absolutely, he absolutely has seen Bambi versus Godzilla. Then,
and if he hasn't, oh my gosh, I want to bring it up to him, ask him if he's seen it, and ask him that's what he meant. I want to know now. That's great. Oh my gosh, so. Thank you all for showing up. If you haven't done so, please click like, subscribe, and hopefully Zach will be here on Thursday instead of avoiding us tonight.
Hopefully he's all right.
And hopefully everyone else will actually see this, that we actually went live tonight. Hey, it's just been weird. Usually like 16 to 15, or people at a time, and they're just like down to like...
Maybe we were the only ones that didn't know Zach wasn't showing up.
I don't know, but we peaked at like 8 viewers at once, and that was crazy. But all right, thank you for showing up. We'll see you next week. Later.
See you Thursday night.
That too. Well, by next week for top 5.
Oh, well, that's true.